It wasn't that long ago that a national news outlet, MSNBC, was in our offices asking about President Trump 1 year in review. And we talked about all the successes that this administration has had, whether it be the line in the sand for religious liberty, whether it been him or his Vice President Mike Pence talking at the March for Life, highlighting the sanctity of human life, whether it be moving the capital of Israel or the embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, or whether it be the economy and the rising stock prices or ISIS on the run. There's a lot of good things to cheer about the results that have taken place under President Trump that those of us who support the family leader, we would readily cheer on. But we talked about his poll numbers being in the tank, and the reason in the tank is that sometimes he just doesn't come off very presidential. Whether it be on his Twitter feed or whether it be in some of his comments, he shows kind of a brashness, maybe a divisiveness that we're not used to seeing in a president. But last night, watching the State of the Union, President Trump delivered. He delivered in how he can be a president, how he can cast a vision that truly does unite America. And as I tweeted in my first tweet, even before his speech, I was praying that he would cast a vision for America that unites us around honoring God and then in turn, blessing the people of America. And again, he did it in spades last night. He highlighted several in the audience. As a matter of fact, he really gave the credit to the American people. He started out by highlighting people in the audience, giving credit to the American people, and that's where he ended as well. In particular, being a son of a World War II dad, he highlighted a 12-year-old boy who saw that veterans' graves weren't being recognized with the American flag. And he started his own campaign, and pretty soon he had 40,000 flags at the graves of veterans. And then President Trump highlighted, and that's why we stand for the national anthem. That's why we show respect for the American flag. And everybody in the audience, you could just tell, was really chilled by that moment of the patriotism of a 12-year-old boy. But then Donald Trump, he wrapped it up a little bit more is when he said, you know, our focus has got to be on our faith. Our focus has got to be on our family, not on government and not on bureaucracy. And he said these words, he said, because our motto is in God we trust. Basically drawing a line that's in God that we trust, not in government that we trust. I thought President Trump last night, he showed a mark of a leader, a mark of a president. And as I told him in his office not that long ago, before he became president, that I'd be a friend to him and I'd cheer him on when he does well and I'd hold him to account when he goes outside the lines. Well, last night, it was only one thing to do, and that was to cheer him on. Matter of fact, my final tweet of the night was no spin. This was a remarkable speech delivered by the President of the United States, and I believe one that will be noted in history. Now, the key is going to be is moving forward, the action and the leadership that's going to take to be the President of the United States that really, truly does unite. So to our friend, President Trump, and to this base, as we continue to watch and stand in the gap, this was a good night for America. It was a good night for religious liberty. It was a good night for the sanctity of human life. It was a good night for those of us who share our values. And we all need to remember that President Trump, he is a minister of God, according to Romans 13, and he is called to lead for our good. So let me end where I began, and that is we continue to pray for President Trump to continue to cast a vision that honors God and blesses the American people. Let that be our prayer.